Let's get started. Welcome, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Additions to the agenda, I have one adding the listers to come talk to us. Anybody else have anything?
No.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to add the listers.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded to add the listers. So this be under new business or
It's actually technically old business.
old business? So let's make it number 1 on old business. That way Jeremiah can get out of here before we start going into executive sessions. Okay. I have no remarks. There is no public to comment. We have no guests. Approval of regular meeting minutes from May 7th, please.
My only question is, and I don't know that you can do this, under the flex time policy, after the first vote, I asked to be changed to a recusal, but I don't know if that's proper. Because I did recuse on the others. For flex time policy.
You actually did vote on that, so we cannot change the minutes.
Well, I asked that night.
Well, you recused on the second two, you voted on the
Okay.
first one,
Okay.
and that's what the minutes reflect. I thought of that myself when I was looking at them.
No, I kind of figured that that's how it had to stay.
Yep. Anything else?
I move that we accept the minutes from the May 7th meeting.
Second.
Moved and seconded to accept the minutes from May 7th as presented. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Bills and warrants.
Okay, I move that we approve payment of the following warrant. Accounts payable, $54,750.99. 18S payroll, $9,292.75. And 19S payroll, $7,688.15.
Second.
Moved and seconded to accept the bills and warrants as read. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Appointment of Michael Root to the Solid Waste Committee.
I move to appoint Michael Root to the Solid Waste Committee.
Second.
Moved and seconded to appoint Michael Root to the Solid Waste Committee. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Do you want to run upstairs and get Jeremiah?
Yep. I am getting my exercise today. I was just gonna say. Get close so fast I can't keep up. It's like, I say the smooth moving, solid, Mike Root.
Well, now you have time to catch up. Please hold while your party is being arranged.
Where's the music?
Okay.
Chris?
No. It's been
I've
Fred's.
got a show
Oh,
come up
really?
on my phone right now, so I think
I figured you were gonna sing like this little light of mine or something.
I'm more of an bop kind of person.
That is an awesome song.
Sorry.
The fact that Jeff just broke out into singing of that song, that's...
I'm sorry. It's country special.
It is catchy, Jeff.
Come on up.
I'll sit up here.
What's happening?
Had the hearing, met with the state on the state hearing officer up in Montpelier on May 9th regarding the letter we'd sent up requesting, basically we wanted to go to a equalization, the state sales study is based on a 3-year study, and we were trying to bring it down to a 2-year study essentially based on the quality of sales. And the reason we wanted to do that was because the numbers we're submitting for the reappraisal, we're putting less emphasis on 1 year of the sales study. So when we were valuing properties, we didn't really consider the 15 and 16 sales equally. And so we wanted to ensure that our reappraisal would be accepted, that Vernon didn't spend all the money to do the reappraisal. And then the state come down and look at, they basically evaluate the appraisal and by their criteria. And if we didn't meet their criteria, then they would reject the reappraisal. The likelihood of that happening is not likely. After the meeting, so we met with the state hearing officer, and they went over the details about, this is kind of the conversation we had, and basically they said that it's a mathematical, they said that the sales study shouldn't have an impact on the reappraisal, and that there was no need for, they didn't see the real need for us to appeal that sales study. They said that there is evidence based on the plant closing and the discrepancy from assessment to sale ratio, that we could try to contest it, but it wouldn't have, there'd be basically no effect on what actually happens. So instead of having a denial, I just said then there's no real effect, why don't we just rescind our appeal and be done with it, and that's kind of where we're at.
Cool.
Any questions? I know that seems like a long-winded, but that's what I did. I just wanted to make sure when we did the reappraisal, didn't do all the effort and then
Yeah.
it bounced back.
Makes sense.
So I have a letter here for the select board to sign, because we have to submit a letter back to the state. And everyone can read it, I suppose. That might be a good idea. Sorry, I got other papers, but it's real simple. It's just saying basically that we're rescinding the appeal that we signed. 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago.
Anybody have any questions for Jeremiah?
Thank you very much.
Are we signing this now? Or would you like to see it first, or?
I would like to read it, yeah, definitely, please.
You want to send it back down?
Read one down.
Made it pretty concise. And if you want to read, I don't know if someone was, this is the letter we submitted originally, so I don't know if you want to read that in comparison. So that's what we had based the grievance, or the appeal on.
I move that we approve and sign the letter rescinding our request.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve and sign the rescind letter to the state. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed?
We have, you just see this, no, that's good. You good?
Thanks.
All set?
Yeah, I believe so.
Have a nice evening.
You as well. So we need to go into executive session on employee review.
I'll watch you in that.
Oh, there's some- I move to find premature general public knowledge of the, I think we can do this under one. No, we can do it under one. I move that we go into executive session on appointment or employment, evaluation of public officer employee, 1 VSA 3133A3, it's number 2.
Second.
Moved and seconded to go into executive session for employee review. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? We are in executive session. So we went into,
I better have it.
All right, we went into the executive session at 6:40, out at 7:32. No action was taken. We are going back into executive session on a contract matter.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we enter to find premature general public knowledge of a pending contract would clearly place the town at a substantial disadvantage of disclosing its negotiation strategy.
Second.
Moved and seconded to go into executive session for a contract, or to discuss a contract.
Yeah.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
I move that we enter executive session to discuss the contract under the provisions of Title I, Section 313A1 of the Vermont statutes.
Second.
Moved and seconded to go into executive session to discuss that contract. All those in favor, please
Okay.
signify by, with Michelle,
With
please
Michelle,
signify by
yes.
saying aye.
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 Those opposed? We are in executive session. So, we went into executive session at
7:36.
7:36. See, look, I got it right there. And out at 8 o'clock. No action was taken. Public participation? None. Correspondence and time and report, please.
I really just have a few more pieces of correspondence that might be of interest to the board. On Saturday, June 15th, we have all been invited to say farewell to Sheriff Clark at the Moon House, so if you're interested in that.
Is there food there?
New England House?
It is a
Most
$20
likely.
suggested donation.
$20 plates.
Suggested.
Requested, I'm sorry, it's not
Oh,
suggested,
oh.
it's requested.
Requested.
But yes, there'll be food, I guess.
It's on a Saturday.
It's
good times.
Maybe we have like a buffet.
I don't know, call them and ask them.
Yeah, really.
That's too big.
Food, shouldn't have to do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
anything else?
Let's see, the hydro station has gotten an extension of time to complete the second part of the archaeological investigation. So that's more going on with their relicensing. We did get one copy of their license was extended, even though they're not done with all of their reaccounting. And as an FYI, the Department of Commerce has asked the town if we wanted to participate in a census that will track all of the residential properties that we have in vanilla construction. This is very similar to something that I brought to Carol about a year and a half ago that had to do with census numbers. And she found it very onerous to get through the process in order to file that stuff. And since we don't have a very stringent permitting and zoning policy in the town of Vernon, tracking down construction that's going to be housing, because this would include if someone's putting an apartment in their basement, they would like to know. So after speaking with Carol, she would suggest not participating. The payback for this, what we get out of it, is not anything I can tell, actually. And the fact that we don't use a lot of GIS software will make it even harder to do. So unless anybody feels very strongly that it should be, okay. So I wanted you aware that that was coming. And we did receive a letter from VLCT from our attorneys in the Diallo v. Vernon case. And there's not a lot of information on it, but it's really in a nutshell saying that they will continue to, since the whole process is kind of started in a different place now, they will continue to represent us. So it's really saying nothing's changed. We're still moving forward with that. And I have a copy of that letter and some of the history if anybody's interested in that. That was it. That was all of it. And I have copies of the VLCT annual reports and
Okay. Next regular select board meeting is June 4th. We are adjourned.